Credit or debit? It's a common question asked these days when you make any sort of purchase, but in the aftermath of recent data breaches at pretty well-known stores, people are thinking twice before swiping their card and wondering what is the safest choice when it comes to protecting their hard-earned money. Joining me now is Howard Schwartz, the Executive Communications Manager for the Connecticut Better Business Bureau. Welcome back to the show, Howard.
Thanks so much, Teresa.
This is an interesting topic because most people have both credit and a debit card. Where do we get started? What is the best way to do it?
Credit card, hands down.
Hands down. Well, let's talk why, because we all heard about that Target breach and people's cards were taken, their numbers were taken. You also were affected.
Yes, I'd used my debit card perhaps 5 days before it became public. And I was saying, oh boy, here we go, because the problem with using a debit card, regardless of the fact that it has a credit card logo on it, that money comes straight out of your bank account.
And it's gone, right?
And it's gone.
Yeah.
So the worry was that this money was going to be taken out and I would have to fight to get it back. About 3 months after that, the bank called me and they said my card was among the many that was compromised and that I should keep an eye on my account, and they issued me a new one. And that was really a turning point for me because I tend to watch my bank statements anyways, very, very carefully.
Sure.
But at that point, I took the debit card out of my wallet and I use it when I have to go to the ATM, and that is it.
See, I'm just the opposite. I'm learning from you, but I swipe that debit card for absolutely everything. I never have cash on hand. You say that's a pretty bad idea?
It's a bad idea because the credit card gives you so much protection. It gives you protection when you're online. If somebody doesn't deliver what they say they will, they'll give you a chargeback and you don't have to wait for that money to come out of your account. And it's also good when you're traveling. For example, if you want to rent a car and put down a deposit, you won't be limited by the amount of money that's in your bank account. You
also mentioned, since we're talking about some of the perks of credit cards, extended warranties.
Extended
that you probably
warranties.
don't even know you have.
No, and this is why you've got to shop around. Now, an extended warranty means, for example, if you get a 1-year manufacturer's warranty, generally a credit card, if it has this option, will double that warranty.
That's great. And then you also have return protection.
Return protection. If, for example, there's a problem, you get, well, the accident protection is a really important one. If you lose or damage something that you bought on the credit card, they will actually take care of that for 90 days. Return protection, normally retailers will limit returns to 30 days, but with certain credit cards they'll extend that to 90 days.
Really? That's an added bonus there. And I enjoy my my credit cards because you get points to fly or rewards.
Oh, there's so many perks, it's incredible. You can get up to 5% cash back on your purchases. You can get gasoline.
That's a good one.
That's a great one. And that, again, this is why we should shop around. But even more than that, you get reward points which can be redeemed at special websites for all kinds of merchandise or gift cards, and that certainly makes holiday shopping a lot easier.
Well, I know a weatherman that I work with that actually bought all of his Christmas presents with his rewards points. So
It's
that's
good.
a great option, right?
Well, and it made me shop around because when I found out what kind of goodies I could get, it made me change credit card companies. And it's a very, very competitive industry, so they do want you to get their cards.
But here's the downside. If you keep charging and charging and charging, that money's not directly coming out of your account, and you have to make sure you don't run up debt.
Well, that's correct. And it's not really a downside. It's more a reality check that
I
when
guess
the bill
so.
comes
It'd be
in,
a downside
you've got to
for me.
pay. Well, and students have difficulty with that also.
Right.
But there are times when you should not be using a credit card. For example, if you know that you spend more than you can actually afford, if you can't pay your bill on time and in full, for things like putting down money for a student loan. You can get a lower interest loan for that type of thing than on a credit card. And cash advances, be very, very careful because with a credit card, if you ask for money in advance, your interest rates can jump to 20, 23%.
Yeah, they go through the roof.
It's a big hit.
And also I wanted to ask you if there is a good time to use a debit card.
Yes, when you're going to the ATM.
And that's it, right?
That's pretty much it. You know, not everybody can get a credit card, so you can get a preloaded debit card and that sort of thing. But I think after the Target breach, as you mentioned, and other retailers, we've got to be very careful about what we use the debit card for, and preferably, even though we like to budget with it, to force ourselves to use what's in our accounts, a credit card is a much safer deal, and you get paid for using money.
I like the sound of that.
So do I.
Howard, thank you for all the advice today.
My pleasure.
And of course, for more information on the Better Business Bureau, you could log on to their website. It's right there on the screen. We'll also link you up to it via ours.